So how do you extend your expression in your lifestyle? We're going to talk about that today. What's up, all you good fellow fly guys? You know who it is, the cat in the hat, your resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michelangelo of StyleArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to this social thing and it's Social Intelligence Saturdays. Yo, you've been showing up this week in style. I know you have. I know you've been getting your look together and doing your thing. And so today we're going to talk about extending your expression in your lifestyle. And the reason why I wanted to have this conversation was because just like socks tend to be an extension of the rest of your ensemble, the rest of the statement that you were making when you were stepping out, when it comes to how you actually do step out, where you go and who you interact with, it's very important to make sure that these things are bringing you fulfillment and bringing you happiness. Just a quick story. When I moved here to Atlanta from New York, I vowed that I was not going to make the same mistakes that I made in New York. What were those mistakes? Well, in New York, with all the culture, with all the food, with all the different experiences and people that I could interact with, I found myself going to party after party at the same spaces, doing the same thing, talking to the same people that really weren't bringing me any fulfillment. And it was cool, but it was the same old thing in one of the greatest cities that I could ever be in. Just try this on. I have never been to the Statue of Liberty, never took that tour. I've been in the Empire State Building at least 30 times, but never have gone up to the top. And I never took a tour of New York. So I have been to every borough outside of Long Island, I believe. And I still had never really experienced all that New York had to offer. And it was because I was simply doing the status quo of what everybody else was doing, living the superficial life instead of exploring my own interest. Now, I'm a guy who enjoys the museum, enjoys art, enjoys learning, enjoys romance, sophistication, all these different types of things. And while I did do a few of those in New York, when I came to Atlanta, I said that I was going to really explore those different elements. And while it took me a little while, it did, I'm not gonna lie, but I've gotten to this space where I am now beginning to explore my interests, beginning to explore my curiosity, and beginning to explore the character that I want to play within my own life story. And so we're going to talk about those three things: exploring your interests, really beginning to cultivate your curiosity, ultimately so that you can create your own character. So just quickly, when it comes to exploring your interest, explore them. Like, a lot of guys and a lot of people just in general do not explore whatever it is that they're interested in because they don't want to be judged, or they don't want their friends to look at them crazy, or any of those different types of things. Look, I like wine, I like candles, I like art, and they have a candle making space here. Well, it's really a candle store, but you can make your own candle at this space. They have different liqueurs and different spirits that I can go to tastings for. They have numerous art galleries here that I didn't know about, and if I would have just moved into the second thing that we're going to talk about, which is curiosity, I probably would have been really enjoying certain things here. And unfortunately, a lot of people will not explore those things because they are afraid to be curious. Well, as my man Jameson would say, it's important for you to be curious, for you to really have the courage to explore something new, to do something new. Now, if you're an extreme guy, or like you like being outdoors, explore a new trail, go on a new hike, go to a different space to hike. If you're a person who's a little bit more sophisticated and AC compatible, like this guy, look, you may want to explore different movie genres. You may want to explore different art galleries or different exhibits. I just had the opportunity to go to Andy Warhol's exhibit here in Atlanta. It was dope. It was awesome. I learned a lot about Andy Warhol and his influence and how he developed his artistry. So in all those different types of things, if you are courageous enough to be curious, then what you end up doing is you allow yourself an opportunity to really explore who you are within yourself, but also how other people are experiencing you. It's kind of like Albert Einstein said, if you tell a fish to climb a tree, it's going to spend his whole life thinking that it's stupid. But in reality, if you are a guy who enjoys comic books and Comic Con comes, if you go there, you may be the most charming dude there. And then you're still going to the club and you wonder why, like, you're not receiving any feedback, any good relationships, or any friendships within those spaces. It may just be that you are that fish trying to climb that tree. So you have to own your own characteristics. Like for me, I was a guy who again, really just enjoyed trying something new that I could like really spend my time mastering and learning about. And one of those things was salsa dancing. So this year I've been like, well, at the end of 2017 coming in 2018, I gotta go take some salsa lessons. And I had the pleasure of doing so at one point when I happened to be in St. Louis for business. I got to go to a salsa class, and I specifically remember once the club opened and you could actually start dancing, seeing a 60-year-old dude, and there were a line of chicks. I'm talking about a line of them girls, like beautiful chicks, waiting to dance with this dude. And I was like, what goddamn? Like, I hope I can do that. And I got out there and I realized I had no coordination. I played almost 12 to 14 years, probably about 14 years of basketball. So I thought I had some coordination, but I really don't. So, yeah, I didn't really dance a whole lot of the salsa dancing, but just being in that space, being a well-dressed gentleman, like young ladies were coming up to me, asking me if I wanted to dance. And I remember my teacher that night, he was like, listen, if you ever hear some guitars coming and they're slowing down, you can hop up and you can dance the bachata, because bachata is a very simple dance and you can be all right there. So two young ladies ended up kicking it with me that night, and they were like, yo, I was like, yo, when the bachata comes on, I'll dance bachata with you. And they were cool. Like, outside of that, we had a great conversation. It was a cool time. We actually kept in touch for a little while, and it was a good situation. So because I was courageous enough to be curious, it ended up creating another character, another layer of my characteristics within my own story. And guys, that's ultimately what it's about. You creating your own storyline that actually brings you fulfillment, brings you satisfaction, and adds to your happiness when it comes to your lifestyle. So I want you to try that on. Do something that you've had interest in, but you may not have searched or sought out. And if you do, then leave me some comments in the comment box. By the way, if you found this information beneficial, you know I would always appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up. Just lets me know that the content that I'm creating is beneficial to you. Please make sure that you don't forget that we're here every Monday through Saturday, here to talk about style and life. Make sure that you are creating a lifestyle that suits you. And lastly, don't ever forget to live, love, and create. I'll see you next time. Peace.